So earlier in the stream, one of you guys was asking me, who do I think is like an up and coming studio who's somebody to keep an eye on? And I said Owlcat. Owlcat is a studio that is known for making like really hardcore niche RPGs, like Rogue Trader. Really, really good, phenomenally well written, massive, super complex. There's a lot of moving parts with it, right? However, they've not really broken into the mainstream yet. And that's why I said keep an eye on them, because they make fantastic games, but they haven't had that moment where they slip into the mainstream from the niche. They could be close to getting there though. They just had a beta for their upcoming game, The Expanse, Osiris Reborn. The Expanse, of course, is from an established IP. It has name recognition from the show and from the books. And they just did a beta where a bunch of people got the chance to play it and try it. And some of the reactions to this beta have been like very, very positive. For example, like, look at this one I bookmarked. Mr. Hulthen says The Expanse of Osiris Reborn feels like Mass Effect 2 all over again. Oh, that's not a small comparison. That's pretty significant, okay? Mortismal also had really positive feelings as well. Now, I don't want to go through their videos because they just launched like an hour and a half ago. So I don't want to step on their views or performance or anything. Usually after like 2-3 days, a video is pretty much set and established, but within a few hours, I don't want to potentially step on it. So instead, we're going to look at the Owlcat Games official beta mechanics overview to describe what is in the beta, how this actually worked, and show us what these people saw that left them feeling so positively.
Hello, my name is Leonid Rastarguev, and I'm the game design director on The Expanse Osiris Reborn.
And I actually have had the chance to talk with Leonid a couple of times. I did an interview with him for New Game Plus, of course, which is the game reveal show that we did back in December. And really, really cool guy, very, very passionate about his work on this game and knows what he's talking about.
I'm Grigori Ponomaryov, lead game designer on the project.
We have finally reached a very important stage of the project and are ready to present you with the beta build. And first of all, we would like to thank our players who supported the game and helped us to reach this important stage.
So let's take a quick look at a few things to try once you jump into the beta.
During the beta, you will have a chance to play one story mission, Pink Waterfall Station, where you and your companions arrive right after Osiris incident. There, at first, you will have some time to explore the station, chat with some NPCs, trade with local vendor Luciana, and even find some precious loot. And after that, you will have to report to your boss for a debrief.
As you level up, you unlock not only new combat abilities, but also new social skills for you and your companion. This unlocks additional skill checks during the mission. That means new dialogue options, new rewards during the exploration, and it can even change the outcome of important events.
And I cannot stress enough, like, this is not, I hate to bring up the comparison again. Who am I kidding? I love it. This is not Starfield writing. Owlcat, they are like really, really, really good at this. If you've never checked out like Rogue Trader or any, like literally anything Owlcat has touched, it is crazy. Like, they know what they are doing, okay? So when they say that there's going to be choice and consequence, when they say that this will unlock a new conversation option that changes the story in some way, they mean it. They mean it. They're very, very good at what they do.
Some of
if they're Scandinavian, you're probably good.
Those skill points will let you increase squad effectiveness, and others will let you increase firepower and gadget damage. And you will also be able to level up your companions and invest social skill points we mentioned before. At some point, you will encounter Workbench, which is an important part of the progression system. There, you can upgrade your weapons and equipment using the materials you collected during the exploration segment. And it's certainly worth doing before heading into combat.
Combat is built around using cover and repositioning. Staying exposed usually won't end well for you, so switching between covers at the right moment is key to victory. You can also use active pause to quickly look around, select abilities, or issue commands to your squad mates.
Dude, squad commands are so underrated in these types of games. Like, I know some people get annoyed by them, and so some people won't like this. I get that, but I think it's really, really nice to add a layer of complexity to the combat because already like cover-based shooters are by themselves already a whole genre of games. Like that's something you can totally do by itself, and there's a lot of fantastic games that do that. But to add another layer of complexity with like specifically the tactical side of it, of being able to direct your party members to go to certain places, do certain things within the map, I think that's freaking sweet.
In the beta, you'll encounter 5 weapon categories, each suited for different ranges and situations. You can carry 1 rifle-sized weapon and 1 short weapon on your hip, so your loadout choices matter. Every weapon can be just as effective in combat. We don't treat them as main guns or sidearms.
And of course, don't forget about gadgets. Gadgets represent your combat abilities, and using them at the right time can create openings during the fight or disrupt your enemy ranks.
So reading this one, provides 1 magazine of specialized rounds that can electrify enemies. The more damage per second your weapon deals, the higher the chance to apply shocked. Holding down the button that triggers this ability allows the character to remove the unemptied clip, reducing its cooldown. Damage type electric, cooldown 55 seconds. Projectile control. And then you can see that they allow you to equip gadgets to each of the, like your character and the party member. Okay, shoulder gadget, program gadget, helmet gadget. Lots of customization.
Right time can create openings during the fight or disrupt your enemy ranks. And you're not fighting alone. For this mission, Jay, your sibling, will join you as your companion, and you can order him to use his abilities or exploit particular environmental weaknesses to wreak havoc on the battlefield.
Ooh! I love microgravity combat. I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool.
To wreak havoc.
Like, look at this. It blows up, and then they just delicately float into the sky.
Field.
Oh my god! It's sending. Earlier there was a shot. Okay, 249. Earlier there was a shot with blood effects, and I saw it, and initially I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of weird." But then I realized, like, no, like if you're in space or microgravity, of course, the blood effect is going to look different. I don't know. I'm stupid. I can't find it.
Particular environmental weaknesses to wreak havoc on the battlefield. During the beta, we really encourage you to experiment. Try different builds, try different playstyles, different dialogue options, and see how the game plays out.
Why does a single player game need a beta? I think you mean a beta. Good question, honestly. There's different philosophies with this. So it's kind of up to the developer and the community to decide, but on a very fundamental level, it's kind of like the early access that Larian did with Baldur's Gate 3. When you put things in front of players, they will let you know what they think, and they will provide feedback about things that maybe the dev team has become like resistant to or immune to. Because as everybody knows, when you work on something for a long time, you kind of start to get used to its current form, and you lose sight of things that might become obvious to fresh eyes. So like the dev team, for example, for me, when I look at the UI setup, I think like the static face down in the bottom left, I just think it looks weird. I don't really like it. But the dev team, I'm sure, is very used to that. And so they have just kind of tuned it out, and they don't see it anymore. And so they just don't realize that maybe that will hit people's eyes weird. His face is tired. Yes, exactly. And maybe, you know, that's on their dev list, that they're going to have it be animated, and it's going to show status effects and stuff like that. So it'll actually be moving. And when you talk on your intercom or whatever, it'll actually be animated with lip sync and stuff. That could be cool. But just in this current form, I'm like, I don't really like that. The UI is also like very blocky and basic. I think it could use some flare up, you know, maybe shoving more of this stuff off to the side. I think it just takes up, I'm somebody, you guys know this about me. I like, the term is diegetic UI. I like UI that's not intrusive, and my ideal setup is when UI is integrated into the game itself. Dead Space is a fantastic example of this. In this case, it would be like, you know, if your health was like a bar on the back of the helmet or something, or in Dead Space, you know, it goes down the back and it indicates what your health is, or for your weapon, where maybe there's a light bar on the side and it drains as you're shooting, just to let you know where you are, so you don't have to have the total ammunition listed there. You know, things like that, where you actually tie it in the game, so that you don't need this like big arbitrary thing. In games like this, I understand you can kind of hand wave it away, and it's like, well, it's like, you know, you have the heads up display in your visor, so your character is seeing that same stuff. I get that. just as a player, I prefer less UI being in the way. I like to be just in the game. So for me, like my notes would be about the UI, scale it down, move things around a little bit, things like that. And those are things that often come up in betas and beta testing that the devs maybe just have gotten used to and they don't see it as a problem, you know? As a UI designer, I hate it when people say the UI needs to pop more. I don't know what it needs. It just needs to pop. It just needs more wow. Can you make it more wow? Do you have a wow slider you can just crank up? Is there like a slider to make it more pop or something? Help me.
Peace out.
The beta will be available on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and Steam. Thank you for your feedback. It will help us improve the game.
And yet again, I would like to thank our players who supported the game and helped us to reach this stage. We're really looking forward to see your feedback.
And on a very fundamental level, it just gives them the chance to find out what you think about certain things that they may have grown used to. So they're not testing server infrastructure, for example. They're seeing, do you like how the combat works? Do we need to tweak something? Do you not like how to command your companions, you have to press this button and then this button? Should we swap it and do a different button combo? Things like that, you know, that they might just not see, or that they're so used to that they don't realize how disruptive it could be. And then the other obvious thing is that if your beta gets positive feedback and good word of mouth, it's a lot of free advertising. Like, they didn't really have to pay anything for it. They just got people to try the game. And when a lot of the time with a lot of betas, when you do it, they can get you to like sign up for an email list. They can get you to sign up to wish list the game on Steam and stuff. So it also has marketing benefits too. But I think at the end of the day, it's a lot of work just for some emails. To me, it seems more likely the case that they just honestly are trying to collect feedback and see what people think of it. Now, this particular demo or beta is just a sliver of it. Okay, so it is, I believe, like, it's not a ton. It's like an hour of content or something like that. It's one main story mission and then talking to some NPCs. It is a sliver. It is a little bit. But again, the intention is for them to get some feedback and find out what people think of it. Based on the reactions I've seen from people who have tried the beta, it seems like it is primarily the feedback is centered around like some animations are clunky when you're like running. There's some micro stutter and hitching when you're running through environments, things that are frankly normal in betas. It's very, very common to have those types of problems. And so a lot of those are things that they know about, I'm sure, and they're working to fix before the final launch. But the big picture stuff is what they want feedback on, so that if they can make adjustments to like UI, if they can make adjustments to control schemes and stuff to make it flow better, they want to know about that and be able to work on it. So very interesting. Very, very interesting. Closed beta. To access the beta, this is what they say in the description. To access the beta, you need to be a founder and own either the Miller's Pack or the Collector's Edition. More information here. So specifically for the beta, exclusive beta access. You can see they have it listed for these two tiers. Miller's Pack is the one at 80. Collector's Edition is 289. So it's also a way potentially to get some money flowing in to help them fund the final push of development. This also, let's just be perfectly honest, by locking the beta to the top tiers of pre-orders, it helps them guarantee that the feedback they're getting is from people that actually like are really into the idea of this game, that like the concept. You know, they're not going to get flooded with a lot of feedback from people being like, where's my spaceship? Why can I not fly? You know, they're getting feedback from people that understand what this game is and like it enough that they're going to pre-order it and happen to also provide feedback. So they're getting feedback from the most hardcore fans that have already pre-ordered it, which I think is also a strategy just to filter out some feedback that maybe they wouldn't find as valuable. If they're going to try to cater specifically to a certain group of players, it's the players that believe in the project so much that they've already pre-ordered it. Nothing's technically stopping you from pre-ordering, playing the demo or the beta, and then canceling your pre-order. I think you can do that if you really don't like the beta. So nothing's stopping you from doing that, but it is locked behind one of these two tiers, to be clear. So there you go. But I definitely think you gotta pay attention to Owlcat, man. They know what they're doing. They're real players. They're real players. They know what they're doing. He took my thing.